Hello, good morning. Very happy to see all of you back into the revisionary classes by Board of Studies Academic for Strategic Management Paper 6B. My name is C. Arjit Sethi, and I see a lot of you joining in. Very happy to see you. Hello, Asta. Hi, Julie. Hello, Sid. Hello, Kuldeep. Good. Very good morning, Kuldeep. Very happy to see you again on Sunday. The weather in Delhi is a bit rainy today, which is good. But it's very gloomy as well in the morning. We were expecting some light. Now it's gloomy. How's the weather at your end? Is it peak summery heat in the morning, already sunrise, or is it raining at your end as well? Okay, as people join in very quickly, while you also give your weather update in the chat. We were discussing mostly about chapter 1 and chapter 2 in our last session. We also did so many questions from the past year question papers, how questions are expected to come, how are things coming, right? Okay, Kuldeep says, lovely morning, sunrise in Surat. Good, Kuldeep, very happy to know. Uh, Surat is a fantastic place, right? I've been to Surat once. It's super fun. Okay, so we were doing chapter 1 and chapter 2, which were mostly around the introduction to strategic management, the vision, the mission, the intent, the values. We were talking about the external analysis in chapter number 2, which was more around, you tell me, this is your revision. Chapter number 2 was more around demographics, more around what kind of different strategies or analysis happen when you are talking to the external environment, which is beyond your control, an environment which probably you cannot control. How do you analyze that environment? Morning is very pleasant in Pune. Julie, good. I think only the northern part of India is getting some rains. The abrupt rains this morning, but good. Pune is a nice, pleasant morning. Surat has a sunrise. Asta is already sleepy. Sid is also sleepy, not able to answer. They're like, yeah, ठीक है, अभी weather मत बताओ, अभी नींद आ रही है. I know. Sunday mornings are pretty sleepy, but that's okay. See, rainy in Ludhiana. Okay, for Rasta, Ludhiana is also raining. Very nice. External environment, industry environment, analysis, fantastic. Okay. Now, chapter number 1, pretty simple, pretty straightforward in terms of what we expect to come, what we expect to revise from is some of the topics I'll just show you very quickly here in terms of which seem like a lot you would see here, right? Questions that might come and these questions are pretty much very straightforward in the way they are structured, like reactive and proactive strategy. Very simple, right? So essentially the questions will come around how is the strategy. So they'll give you a question around this is what happened. Identify the strategic element we're talking about, identify the characteristic or a blend of which of the two strategies is this. So it's basically around strategies formed through reaction, through proactive approach and reactive approach, where proactive strategy is all about being one step ahead of what is going to happen. So if you can anticipate something, you're one step ahead. And reaction is if something has happened in the environment and you respond to it, you react to it, that is a reactive strategy. So proactive strategy and reactive strategy, two kinds of strategies you would see essentially, two reactions to your external or and internal environment you'll see is proactive and reactive, right? This is pretty much what is asked from this piece. Then if we go down, you would see that here, strategic management, right? The importance. One of the points or one of the concepts in chapter number 1, where most of the questions can be formed. What I'll do for you is very quickly, I'll show you how questions can be formed from each of the importance, right? So it helps an organization develop certain core competencies and competitive advantage. Now, a question might come and say, hey, X company developed something which is helping them win over the competition. What, and basis this, identify which why strategic management is important. Also explain 5 other importance of strategic management. So out of all these 8, you have to identify, all these 7, you have to identify which one we were talking about in the scenario, and then you have to give all other elements, any 5 out of the rest 6, as to what is the importance of strategic management. Okay. Similarly, if I can go and say, hey, this, right? Now I can say the top organization or the uh, corporate level organization took a decision, right? Took a decision to generate more revenue through AI driven technology for their business. They are aiming to convert all their processes to artificial intelligence in the coming 2 years. In the light of the above statement, identify which importance of strategic management is being talked about here. Also share 4 other importance of strategic management. So now the question is, it prepares the organization to face the future, right? It tells you the it helps you prepare of what is coming ahead in anticipation that everything is going to be digital. The organization is also, they're able to do this because they are doing SWOT analysis, because they are doing pestle analysis. They're able to do this, and all of these SWOT analysis, pestle analysis is part of strategic management. The process of planning, the process of identifying a strategy, the process of executing the strategy, the process of controlling, auditing that strategy, everything is part of strategic management. All these analysis, like a SWOT, like a pestle, everything is part of the strategic management. And because they are able to do this, because they are doing this, they are preparing themselves to face the future. So every importance of strategic management, every element is a question in itself, my friend. That's the beauty of this particular concept. Then limitations, particularly very simple, time consuming, costly, difficult to imitate. And then we had complex and turbulent environment. The environment is always changing, it's complex. Limitations again are like time consuming. It's very time consuming. You have to spend a lot of time, a lot of resources thinking about things, identifying the right strategy. ये ठीक होगा या नहीं, doing plan A, plan B preparation. बहुत time process है. Then you have cost. It's a costly process. You spend so many resources, consultants, people. Then you spend your own time. Time is money, right? If you're spending time somewhere, you're also losing money because you could have done something else, right? It's a costly process. And then you have to change things. So everything change brings about a lot of spend in terms of technology, in terms of people, in terms of everything that you do around changing something, it brings about paisa, right? Kharcha aata hai. And then difficult to estimate competitors' response. Even if you think you're made a great strategy, even if you think that you're doing the right thing for the future, you don't know how the competitor will respond. You don't know how the competition, are they smarter than you? Are they dumber than you? Are they going to do something more interesting versus your brand? So maybe your strategy doesn't even float, right? So you're like, I am doing a great job. I have done planned a great strategy, but maybe the competitor does something better. And your strategy, even though you put your time, money, analysis, everything in it, it doesn't just float. That can happen as well, right? That is also something you have to be careful about in terms of, oh, that can happen as well. Okay, very nice. Hello, Mujahid. I see you joining. Good morning. Great. Okay. Vision, mission, goals, objectives, all clear, or any questions here? I'll move ahead. The chat is open, my friends. Any questions on values, mission, goals, objectives, intent, anything, or we move to the next one very quickly? I'm just doing this so that you also know the flow of how we go through the entire syllabus, and then we get into the main crux where I have some very interesting questions, very good practice questions for you. Okay, no response means no questions. from this topic. Very nice. Okay. What must be considered while writing a good mission statement for the company? One, to establish a special identity for the business, one that typically is distinct from others. So, which means it should be distinct. Copy paste नहीं होना चाहिए आपका mission versus somebody else. Needs which business tries to satisfy, customer groups it wishes to target. Mention, it has to be specific, it has to be well delineated in terms of it tells you what needs to be done or what are you planning to do. It should be very specific and clear. Number three, good mission statements should be unique to the organization for which they are developed. It should be personalized. It should resonate with your organization. Even if you are a pizza shop, your mission has to be unique to yourself. There are thousands of pizza shops, but your mission as a pizza shop should be very unique to your business, right? Your brand. That's what the magic of a mission statement is. The mission of a company should not be to make profit or surplus, right? A surpluses may be required for survival and growth, but cannot be the mission. Now, if you say paisa kamana mera mission hai, yes, that is one of the reasons, but it cannot be your sole mission of the business, right? It cannot be the sole reason why you want to do the business. So if the question comes, okay, now if question comes, uh, Rahul started a business thinking to make a lot of money, and he defined his mission of starting the business to make a lot of money. Does this statement right? Does this statement can be considered as a good mission statement? The answer is no. Why? Because the mission of the company should not just be making money. It has to be money, but it cannot just be money. You have to have some other reason, some other mission to do certain business, right? A mission could be so mission essentially defines what you do and how you want to achieve your vision. So what you do cannot be I make money. Your vision can be I want to give the best pizza every single customer. My vision is to become the best pizza shop in the town. I want to like it can be I want to be the best pizza shop that every person talks about in the town. How do I do that? By giving the best quality pizza to every single customer. That is my mission. By doing this, I will achieve my vision, right? So it cannot just be मुझे पैसा कमाना है. It should be I want to do this so that I achieve my vision. Okay, that's what a good mission statement is. Awesome. Goals and objectives, my friend, very confusing topic at times. The goals and the objectives. Okay, the goals are broad statements that describe what a company aims to achieve in the long term. Okay, now goals essentially are typically high level. So this is my goal, an overarching statement. It's basically a big uh, objective, an objective which is long term, essentially, right, is a goal, but an objective which is essentially right at the cusp of delivering, that is an objective. Okay, so for example, now a goal could be to achieve 3% growth this year. The objective could be to deliver January's sales numbers, right? If you achieve January's numbers, you are actually adding to the goal of achieving 3% growth. So objectives are the right at the cusp of delivery, right there, short term, immediate things you have to do. Goals are pretty long term, where you have to define what is your goal over a period of time, right? They are typically high level. Goals are typically high level. They are overarching statements that reflect the company's overall mission and overall vision and values, while objectives are actually specific metrics you have to deliver to show progress and success. Okay. Now, here certain this is a frequently asked question. Let me start it for you. Okay. Now, this is a frequently asked question, which is what are the characteristics of objectives? What are the characteristics of objectives? Now, It should define the organization's relationship with its environment. It should facilitate towards achievement of a mission. It should provide the basis for strategic decision making. It should be concrete and specific. It should be time framed within 10 months, within 3 months, within 2 weeks, within same day, within tomorrow. When do you want to achieve this objective? It should define that as well. It should be measurable and controllable. Okay, it should be challenging. Now, different objectives should correlate with each other. ऐसा नहीं हो कि एक objective is trying to achieve something, the other objective is trying to achieve something else, and both the things are going in different direction. Then your business is not going in one direction. Everybody is achieving their objectives in different directions. Somebody is looking at growth, somebody is looking at profitability, somebody is looking at valuation, somebody is looking at customer acquisition, somebody is looking at product quality. Everything should align eventually. The end result of each of the objectives should be one, which is your mission. Okay. Now, it should be set within the constraints of organizational resources. अब ऐसा ना हो कि आप ऑब्जेक्टिव इतना बड़ा बना लो और आपके पास रिसोर्स ना हो, right? It shouldn't be in a way that you build an objective in a way that you don't have resources only to achieve that objective. Okay? ना लोग हैं, ना पैसे हैं, ना टाइम है, बट हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव हमने कुछ ऐसा बना लिया which we cannot achieve. So your objectives should be within the resources available in your organization. Okay. All objectives should not be conflicting with each other. Absolutely, Kuldeep, that is right. They should not conflict. If they conflict, then your organization is not moving in the right direction or the same direction. Okay. Now, there are certain long-term objectives also, which every company should essentially look forward to. When I say long-term objectives, these are like an year, a 2 year. This is certain something like a goal. A long-term objective can also generally be called a goal, but in examination, it will very clearly come as long-term objective because that's the heading here. Okay. Now, to achieve a long-term objective, what do you have to? A general 7 areas where the organization works towards, a general 7 areas where the long-term objectives are. One, profitability. Every business would eventually, in the long term, want to be profitable. Every company eventually in the long term will have to have or want to have a competitive position. Every company in the long term will have to or will want to have good employee relations. Every company in the long term will have to have a good public responsibility, environment, technology, education, CSR, all of that. Okay. Productivity. Every company in the long term will have to or will want their employees to be more productive, to learn, to grow through technology, through skills, and to give more productive results. Employee development, technological leadership. In the long term, any company would want to achieve these 7 areas, and these are your long-term objectives, the 7 areas of long-term objectives where every company generally would want to be. They would like to achieve this objective in the long term, where their people are happy, they have the right technology, they are profitable, they have good public responsibility, they have goodwill, they are productive people, they have a competitive position, their employees love them, they love their employees, employees are developing, not leaving the organization. All of these are certain long-term objectives that every organization would want to have, right? Very nice. Now, values we have already talked, no probable confusion. SBU will talk in the next chapter as well. So that's okay. Okay, network of relationship between the 3 levels of the organization. Now, it can be a functional divisional level where each they are run independently, headed by a function. Now, this is more like a horizontal or a vertical mix. Now, functional and divisional relationship is generally vertical. Then you have a horizontal relationship where it's a flat structure, like mostly like startups, right? It is suitable for startups where you want to share ideas, so you can reach the founder directly, you can talk to anybody. It's a free, open, there is no hierarchy ki manager se ho, first you have to talk to the manager, manager to senior manager, senior manager to director, director to VP, VP to senior VP, senior VP to CFO. And you cannot ever just talk to the CFO directly. That's a functional and divisional relationship which is vertically aligned. Now, certain new age organizations, startups are using a horizontal structure where everybody is treated as equal. You can share your ideas. It's freedom because the teams are generally smaller as well. So you can talk to anybody. You can share your ideas. People love listening. People like listening to new ideas. These are horizontal relationships. Then you have a matrix relationship, right? It is complex for smaller organizations, but very useful for large organizations. Now, matrix is a structure where the functional and the divisional mix, right? We have already talked about this in chapter 4, right? And you would also have learned about this. This is a revisionary class, so you should know what is a matrix structure. But essentially, the characteristic here is it's a grid-like structure where one person has dual reporting, right? They report to the functional head and also to the commercial head. It is not useful for small companies. It is generally useful for big companies like a Wipro, like a Reliance, like a Tata. All these organizations which are huge. Now, if you tell me I join Reliance today and I want a freedom to talk to Mukesh Ambani, to give him ideas that, hey, अब जियो का प्लान जो है ना ऐसा नहीं ऐसा बनाओ. Do you think that makes sense? If somebody joining Reliance tomorrow, they get the freedom or they get the accessibility to talk to a Mukesh Ambani saying that, hey, aapka na plan, I want to change something in Jio. I don't think Jio is doing a good job. Do you think that would make sense? Because you might say, yes, what if I have a good idea? What if I have a good idea? Why can't they listen? That's a good point. But think operationally, my friend. If 1,000 people are joining Reliance every single day, 500 people are leaving Jio every single day. So net 500 लोग daily add हो रहे हैं. Okay. Assuming, I'm just hypothetically telling you this number. So all these 1,000 people who are joining, they would want to talk to Mukesh Ambani on a daily basis. They already have 3 lakh employees in the organization. Possible hai? Operationally possible hai? The answer is no. So big organizations cannot operate horizontally because operationally it is not possible. The time, the resources, the methodology, it's not possible. So think about it, and that is where your answer lies, my friend. Okay, very nice. Very nice. Now, very quickly, what I want to do is I want to get your attention to this. I'm going to change my screen, and here it is. Let me know if you can see my screen. We will solve 5 questions. They might have open house, Kuldeep. Absolutely, they might. But again, depends how big the audience is for the open house. Let me know if you can see my screen as well. Do you have friends who are alive and awake? Okay. Nobody's alive and awake, is it? Asta, Julie, Sid, Mujahid, Kuldeep, Pooja. Awesome. Okay. Let's revise, my friends. Exams are very close. You don't want to miss any opportunity to revise, any opportunity to learn, because kudos to you guys, first of all, for being here, right? You're already one step ahead of people who are sleeping right now. So you're already winning. Great. The idea is simple. I am going to show you 5 questions. You don't have to solve the questions. You just have to identify the concept. You just have to tell me which concept is being talked about here. Let's read question number 1 and tell me which concept from all the chapters. It is not just 1, 2, it's the entire syllabus, my friend. From the entire syllabus, which concept is being referred to here? You have to identify and tell me. Read question 1 and answer in the chat, please. Read the question carefully and identify the concept being referred to in the question. A smartphone manufacturer. Strategic choice. Asta is absolutely right. Kuldeep, you might want to rethink your answer. No, Julie. Sorry, you Kuldeep lost 5 marks. Julie lost 5 marks. Pooja lost 5 marks. 0 मिलेगा. My dear friend, ये देखिए. क्यों हो रहे हो कंफ्यूज मेरे दोस्त? क्यों हो रहे हो कंफ्यूज? Dynamic and turbulent environment is limitation of SM. No. क्वेश्चन क्या है मेरे दोस्त? क्वेश्चन क्या है? सवाल तो पढ़ो. Dual approach strategy. It is asking, identify the nature of this dual approach. Dual, two approach. कौन सी है dual approach? Is it asking limitation of SM? No. Is it asking how do you analyze your competition? No. Or is it asking for a dual approach strategy? ठीक है जी, no problem. Let me help. Develops an yearly roadmap based on trend, forced to suddenly pivot to a software service due to unexpected shortage. Dual approach means two approach. Dual means two. Do you agree? Yes or no? Dual approach means two. Do you agree or not? Yes. Develops an yearly roadmap, proactive, suddenly has to react to a change in the environment. Reactive. So what is the answer, my friend, that the dual approach strategy कौन से concept की बात हो रही है? Now tell me, which concept is being talked about here? Please answer. Which concept is being talked about here? Now tell me which concept. Blend of proactive and reactive strategy. I told you last class, stop overthinking. I told you in the very last class, the question will ask clearly, identify the nature of this dual approach strategy. Is it asking for limitations? No. Is it asking you to group your competition? No. Is it talking about any analysis? No. It's clearly saying dual approach strategy, proactive and reactive. कोई बात, revision class. Let's go to question number 2. Don't overthink answer. Question number 2 on your screen. Do not overthink an answer. Think, but don't overthink. Okay, now people are saying vision. Let's see. Let us see. Very nice. Pooja says vision. Mujahid says vision. Julie says vision. Asta says vision. And absolutely, that's the right answer. Vision. The element in the strategic intent we are talking about here is vision. Question number 3, my friend. अब आ रहे ना पकड़ में, देखते हैं. What do you think is the answer? Okay. विजन है ये. विजन है मुजाहिद. आर यू क्लियर? पक्का. पेस्टल में विजन होता है. पेस्टल में विजन कहाँ होता है? Political, legal. Correct answer is, why would you say political and not legal to taxation? Why will taxation be political and not legal? Government policy, taxation and regulation, does that come under political or legal? ये टैक्स का तो एक्ट होता है ना. टैक्स इज द लॉ. Whatever political party may come, टैक्स तो भरना पड़ता है. Why is taxation political and not legal? You're legally bound to pay tax, na? Even if it's one party or the other. The government will make the tax, but tax is legal. It's a legal obligation. Political थोड़ी ना. ऐसे तो आप environment बोलते. If that is the case, then you would say, oh, government intervention is coming, but they're doing it for the environment. तो कौन सा है? सोचो सोचो सोचो. है ना कंफ्यूजिंग? ये तो एनवायरनमेंट भी हो सकता है ना, बिकॉज द गवर्नमेंट इज पोजिंग एन अ टैक्स ऑन प्लास्टिक बॉटल्स टू सेव द एनवायरनमेंट. तो ये पॉलिटिकल है, ये लीगल है, या ये एनवायरमेंटल फैक्टर है? बताएं माय फ्रेंड, बताएं. सोचें, एग्जाम में क्या वुड बी योर आंसर? इज इट पॉलिटिकल? इज इट लीगल? इज इट environmental? Take a stance and confidently say this is the answer. Build some confidence. What do you think? You have to build some confidence. Think about it. If you feel confident, answer it. Think. Nobody's thinking. Everybody's like, यार आप ही बता दो. The correct answer, my dear friend, is not environment. It is not even political. It is legal. It is legal. Taxation is legal. Tax is as per the law. It's an act which is passed every year. GST is an act. Income tax is an act. Act are legal things. If a new tax is imposed, it's a legal obligation. It's a legal change. It's a change in legality of the business. Yes? No? Yeah, it is. Okay. So whenever you read tax, you should go and answer legal. It's an act. Let's go and solve question number 4. Yeah, I see first answer. Taxation is always legal, Julie, because it's an act. ऐसे तो everything in the law will be political. If I tell you if tomorrow, uh, if I tell you the GDP is increasing because the government is supporting X industry, तो आप कहोगे ये तो पॉलिटिकल है, इकोनॉमिक थोड़ी ना है. So everything eventually will become political. Every economic indicator will become political for you then. Though. Question 4, I'm getting some answers. Threat of substitutes. Threat of substitute products or services. Depends on the context, Julie. Depends on the context again. Exactly, Asta. Environment law will be under environmental factor. If there's an environment law which bans their product, then that's an environmental factor. Kuldeep says new entrant. Mujahid says threat of substitutes. Asta says threat of substitutes. Let's see who's right. A luxury cinema. Substitute products threat. Okay, Kuldeep, everybody is saying threat of substitutes. You're saying new entrant. Let's see. A luxury cinema chain notices a sharp decline in ticket sales as customers migrate towards high quality home streaming platforms. Identify the specific pressure from Borders 5 Forces model and describe its impact on the industry attractiveness. Has to be threat of substitute. The substitute of cinema hall is the streaming platform like a Netflix, Amazon Prime, Geo Hotstar. Luxury cinema ka alternative, the substitute is streaming platform, right? That creates the pressure on them and ends declining their sales. That's exactly what a substitute does. It's not a new entrant. A new entrant would be in the luxury cinema hall chain. There is a new cinema hall chain from the US, let's say called P Box. They have entered the industry and they're taking away their market share. New entrant is in the same industry. A substitute is an alternative to your product. So new entrant would be a new cinema hall company or a brand that enters the industry. That's new entrant. Okay. And number 5 पे चलते हैं मेरे दोस्त. Number 5. An electronics company launches a smart wearable in a market growing at 30% annually. Yet it currently holds a negligible 1.5% market share. Identify the position of this business unit in the BCG matrix. Oh, BCG matrix, market share, market growth. What would be the answer, my friend? Nagaraj says cow. Are you sure, Nagaraj? Are you sure? The answer is wrong, let me tell you. Very nice, Asta. Question mark लग रहा है आपको? Question mark में तो market also doesn't grow. यहाँ तो market is growing 30% annually यार. कुलदीप says dog है यार, इसको बंद करो. Dog? Are you serious? Are you seriously calling it a dog? आप लोग तो स्ट्रैटेजिस्ट मत ही बनना फिर. Please don't become a strategist. If you think in a market which is growing 30% and I am at 1.5% market share और मैं एग्जिट कर जाऊं ये मार्केट, आप तो किसी को एडवाइस मत ही देना बिजनेस की प्लीज. क्वेश्चन मार्क है. क्यों है क्वेश्चन मार्क मेरे दोस्त? व्हाई इज दिस अ क्वेश्चन मार्क? लॉजिक दो ना मुझे. डॉग वाले लोग पहले तो मुझे लॉजिक दो. सारे आंसर आ गए. कैश काउ आ गया, डॉग आ गया, क्वेश्चन मार्क आ गया, स्टार नहीं आया अभी तक. हम्म. There is opportunity, but you're not able to leverage. What would be the right answer, my friend? Exactly. You're reaching the right words, Kuldeep. There is huge opportunity, but you're not able to leverage. But what if you change something in your company? Isn't that a million billion dollar opportunity? Exactly. That's why it's a question mark. Exactly, that's why it's a question mark to ask yourself कि भाई मार्केट ग्रो कर रही है 30%, we are just 1.5%. Question is, the question to you is, the question you should ask the business is, why? इतनी बड़ी मार्केट है, why do we have such a small share? And you will get no answers from the business because they don't know. That's why they are such small player. And that's why it's a question mark whether to invest more, to build something because the market is huge, or we just exit. It's a question mark. Cash cow. क्या बात है. कैश का 30% ग्रोथ मार्केट में कौन बैठ के पैसे कमाएगा भाई? 30% मार्केट ग्रो कर रही है यूजिंग. हाँ, हम तो जहां पे हैं हम वहीं रहेंगे. इफ यू आर 1.5% market share today and the market is growing 30%, in next 5 years you will not even be 0.05% of the market. तो कैसा कैश का होगा? The correct answer here would be question mark. How can we grow with the market, or can we really grow at market speed? That's the question that the business will ask, and that's why it's a question mark. समझे बंधु? Exactly. That's why it's a question mark, Kuldeep. Wow, today the new concept. Why is it even called a question mark? Because you're confused. You still have to think more about this business, whether to grow it with the market or to close down, thinking that I can't because other competitors are better. That's the question you have to ask, and that's a question mark. Last question before I get back to the main content. I have many more. I have 17 such questions for you to help, my friend. I'm loaded with practice questions. So don't worry. Question number 6 for you. Let's see if you can identify this. Question number 6. A premium Indian tea brand decides to sell its existing product range in Australia. Wow. And Japan for the first time without any modifications. Identify the growth strategy using the Ansoff matrix and explain the logic. Same product without modifications in Australia and Japan. Very nice. ये तो सब लोग को आ गया. Market development. Good. Very, very good. एक और question. Question 7. And then we get back to our content. Okay. A laptop brand offers a unique, unbreakable screen and 24/7 on-site repair service at a significantly higher price than competitors. Now, identify the generic competitive strategy used here and discuss its advantages in creating brand loyalty. जेनेरिक कंपेटिटिव स्ट्रेटेजी कौन सी यूज की जा रही है? Unique unbreakable screen, 24/7 on-site repair service at a significantly higher price than competition. बताओ कौन सी यूज हो रही है? Okay, Asta has given the answer. Julia has given the answer. Let's see about what about others, if they can identify. I see Prajapati Hinaben joining us as well. Feel free to answer. This is your classroom too. You're not late. You're late, but that's okay. Join the class. The questions are on your screen. Practice with us. Sid, I haven't seen you answering lately. ये क्या ईयरफोन्स लगा के वापस सोने चले गए हो? K Mujahid says differentiation. Kuldeep says focused differentiation. Oh my God. Why, Kuldeep? Again, overthinking. क्यों? क्यों? क्यों overthinking? Why are you losing marks, Kuldeep? Why are you losing marks? Why do you want to lose marks, my friend? High price to differentiation में भी होता है. High price cannot define as a focus market. No, it cannot. Apple is a focus market. No, it's selling to everybody. Whoever can buy should buy. Does it restrict anybody from buying? No. Samsung कोई भी खरीद सकता है. S26 Ultra, 2 lakh rupee phone. You have money, you buy. It's not a focused market. Oh no, I will only sell to the ultra rich. Students are buying it. I can show you one out of every 3 students who have an iPhone. So focus market to nahi hai Apple. It's a differentiated. Price cannot define focus. Focus has to be the segment of market you're targeting. And these two things everybody wants. Unbreakable screen, 24/7 on-site repair, सबको चाहिए. And if you're giving it, you're differentiating yourself by asking a higher price. The correct answer is differentiation. Okay, vote. Do you want to solve more questions? You want to go to the content? It's your revision class. You decide how you want to. You want to solve more questions? You want to quickly go back to the content? Let's revise certain concepts and how questions are asked from those concepts, and then come back to questions. You guys want to solve more questions. I know this is real practice. This is real revision, right? Concept हमें आते हैं. I know, I know, I know. I know you know a lot of concepts. Let's go. Question number 8, my friend. Question number 8 on your screen. Absolutely, Kuldeep. That is focus differentiation, where you're segmenting your marketing. You're saying, hey, these are the people I want to sell it to specifically. That is focus differentiation. But if I want to say my product is different from the competitors, hey, everybody come buy my product. That is differentiation. If I go say, not everybody, I just want these kind of people to buy my product, that is focused differentiation. I'll give you a very classic example. A startup making a robotic wheelchair. Okay, think about this, Kuldeep. This example will solve everything for you. A startup making a robotic wheelchair. Is that differentiation or focus differentiation? रोबोटिक व्हीलचेयर बना रहे हैं. Is that a differentiation or focus differentiation? What do you think? Robotic wheelchairs. Absolutely, my friend. Now you get the concept. Now you get the concept. Robotic wheelchair is focus differentiation. And if I say I'm making a robotic self-driven car, is that focus differentiation or differentiation? A robotic self-driven car versus a robotic self-driven wheelchair. Differentiation and focus differentiation का यही फर्क है. Self-driven car versus self-driven wheelchair. ठीक है ना? Okay, great. We are on question number 8. Tell me, dear friends, what is the answer? Question number 8 on your screens for you to solve, my friend. Read the question and answer. Core competency तो है कुलदीप. We are talking which of the 4 elements of core competency are being talked about here? Core competency तो है, we know it. But the question is, which element of core competency? Nagaraj has given an answer. Julie has given an answer. What about others? Asta is giving an answer. Kuldeep, what do you think? Mujahid, what do you think? Prajapati Hinaben, what do you think? You're there in the class, let's be active. Nagaraj, absolutely, my friend. Very good. Mr. Sid is sleeping or what? Okay. A pharmaceutical firm holds a secret 20-year patent for a life-saving drug that competitors cannot legally or technically replicate. Imitability. Nobody can copy. Their core competency lies in the fact that it is not imitable. It is not, or costly to imitate, correct? It can imitate after 20 years, but it's very costly to copy. It is nearly impossible to copy because they're protected by patents. Wonderful. Imitability की बात हो रही है. Let's go to question 9. A production, question 9. A production manager at a textile mill focuses on reducing the idle time of looms to support a corporate goal of 15% faster order fulfillment. Oh my God. Identify the organizational level at which this strategy is formulated. कौन से लेवल पे ये बात हो रही होगी? The answer lies in the very first 3 words of the question, but okay, I'll let you decide. आगे answer. Julie says business level. Kuldeep says functional. Asta says functional. Pooja says business level. Nagaraj says functional level. Correct answer is, my friends, functional. Correct answer is functional level. Production manager की बात हो रही है यार. Production manager है focusing on execution, delivering, fulfilling the product. Functional level manager और functional level की बात हो रही है. Last question, question 10, then we get into a little bit of practice mode or a little bit of concept mode, and then we come back to these questions. Question number 10 on your screen, 10th को solve करते हैं. Let's solve question number 10, my friends. Question 10. A garment exporter maps out every step of its operations. Now, from procuring raw material to the final delivery at international airports to find cost-saving opportunities. Now, identify the framework being used for this internal analysis and distinguish between primary and support activities. Ah, very nice. सबको बताइए. Value chain analysis. Wonderful. बहुत ही अच्छे. Now you're getting to the crux of things. Now you are getting into the real deal. Now you're getting into the real practice mode, my friend. Okay, wonderful. Let me take you through very quickly. Chapter 2, we talked about the earlier class. We were talking a lot of questions, a lot of things we were talking about. Chapter number 2, we talked about pestle recently. We talked about macro elements like demographic, socio-cultural, economic, political, right? All of these. We talked about all of these elements, right? कहाँ गया? किधर गया? Chapter 3 मेरा किधर गया? Sorry, I got it's a global. Yes, this is one that I was thinking. I was figuring out one topic I wanted to discuss here was this. My friends, how confident are you? How confident are you on this topic? I'll come to your question, Asta. Income tax raid is which element? बड़ा interesting question है. again depends on the context. Ki, is that politically charged or is it a genuine raid? Is it a genuine income tax raid or is it political drama? That will decide things. Every element will have a context, right? Right, absolutely. So again, it is done under the law, but what's the intent? If it's genuine, then it has to be legal. If it is just a political drama, then it is a politically charged element on a business, let's say, for example, right? So if a business is being harassed through law, right? Then probably you can say it's a political element for that business because the intent is different. But if it's a genuine case of an income tax department coming after the business and saying, hey, you're trying to evade taxes, you're trying to do tax evasion, and it's a genuine case, then it's bound to be legal, right? But the question I have here is, how many of you are confident of this topic that why do businesses go global? Why so anything related to businesses going global, you're confident? You can write, you can easily write answers on this topic, right? Yes or a no. Because I see a lot of you get confused when we talk about global businesses. Good if you are confident. Very nice. Good to know that. Okay. Michael Porter's Five Forces of Competition also clear. Any doubts in Michael Porter's Five Forces of Competition, my dear friends? I'm going topic by topic so that anything that you feel, ye wala topic tha, I wanted to understand more. Oh, this was one where I feel a bit confused. Just tell me. I can help you. Michael Porter used twice, hence sometimes it's confusing, Kuldeep. Michael Porter is used more than twice, but one is competitive analysis, okay, which is five forces of competition. The other one is generic strategies. The difference between the two big concepts from Michael Porter in the syllabus, one is if they're talking about analyzing the competition, then it's five forces of competition. If they're generally asking for what are the generic strategies for a business, a generic response, a generic strategy of the business, that is also Michael Porter, that is cost leadership, differentiation, focused strategy, right? So the question will very clearly ask, like I've been saying, the question will ask you very clearly, do not overthink at all. Okay. अच्छा इसमें this is one thing. Michael Porter's number one force was new entrants. How can a company stop a new entrant? The entry barriers. You guys are clear with this? Any doubts? I can make 20 plus questions just from this table. Just from entry barriers, I can make 20 questions, my friend. Aram se. More than that. Let me ask you this, okay? Let's test you. I'll ask a question. You tell me out of all these entry barriers, which entry barrier am I talking about? Okay. A jewelry brand started its new store in a mall. A new jewelry brand started its store in a mall, right? And they had fantastic products. They had great designs. They were very fresh, very new, and a lot of customers were coming into the shop and actually buying jewelry because their design was fantastic. People were liking their designs and creativity. Okay. Now, as the business grew in the very first 6 months, the other jewelry shops in the mall, other jewelry shops in the mall started started to create a group between themselves and started aggressively advertising their own businesses and de-advertising the new shop. Okay. They started advertising something like only genuine products, unlike new startups who are selling fake diamonds, right? Or an advertisement like be aware of great designs because real diamonds are forever. Now they're targeting their core competency. Now these existing businesses, through the advertisements, posters, and everything, and whenever the customers used to come to them, they used to say, "Hey, our designs might be basic, but these are genuine diamonds, and genuine diamonds cannot have new creative designs. It's all fake diamonds. It's all lab diamonds, which can be designed into something." Real diamonds cannot. Which of the entry barriers is that new jewelry shop facing now? Absolutely right. Aggressive retaliation. Possibility of aggressive retaliation from the existing businesses becomes an entry barrier for this new business. Now, all the customers who are going to this new business are asking, अरे आपका प्रोडक्ट जेन्युइन तो है ना? जेन्युइन डायमंड में ऐसा डिजाइन कैसे बना लिया आपने? Now they are questioning, thing they were really liking, they are now questioning. That is aggressive retaliation from existing people, right? Yes. Let me ask you another question. Identify which of these am I talking about, okay? Identify which of these am I talking about. There is a new, uh, how many of you use, okay, let me ask this. When you have fever or when you have a high temperature, which medicine do you use? कौन सी दवाई खाते हो जब बुखार होता है तो when you have fever, which medicine do you generally take? कुलदीप says होम्योपैथिक खाता हूँ मैं. आपका क्वेश्चन कोई मैं डेड कर देता हूँ. Kuldeep says, let me kill your question. I eat homeopathic. Okay, good, Kuldeep. Thank you. पैरासिटामोल खाते हो. ब्रांड कौन सा होता है? डोलो. अगेन ना डोलो. डोलो लेते हो, क्रोसिन लेते हो, कालपोल लेते हो, कोई तो दवाई लेते हो. पैरासिटामोल, yes. Generic name is paracetamol. But which brand do you take? डोलो, क्रोसिन, कालपोल, यही सब ही है. तीन चार brands which have captured the Indian market. Now, if I say you have fever, my friend, and you go to the chemist and you say, hey, give me a dolo, एक डोलो का पत्ता देना. People see brand. Kuldeep, what are you even talking about? People buy medicines just because of the brand. Most of the people don't even know the medicine name. Let's be honest. You would have seen a lot of elders in your house would be eating a medicine for thyroid, right? There's this small bottle, Thyrox, Thymox, whatever name they call it, because it's related to thyroid. The medicine is different. The medicine is not Thyrox or a Thynox or a Thymox, whatever. They have 20 names. That's brand name, my friend. दवाई थोड़ी ना, वो दवाई का नाम तो कुछ और है. So question here is, if you go to the chemist and you ask for a dolo and they say dolo to nahi hai, but ye polo le jao, will you be very okay in buying it, or will you have second thoughts in buying that medicine then? Or let me ask you another way. If the doctor writes, if the you go to the doctor, doctor prescribes buy an X norm 34, X norm 34 खरीदना. Doctor has written X norm 34. That's a brand. Okay, branded दवाई है. You go to the chemist, chemist says, oh, X norm 34 नहीं है, but I have P lab 40. Same ही दवाई है. It's the same thing. You take it. P lab 40 ले लो. X norm 34 नहीं है. Are you hesitant in buying that medicine? Or you're like, हाँ ठीक है, same ही होगी. I am hesitant because I don't have knowledge. I would be hesitant because I don't know, right? And that's where brand identity comes into the picture, my friend. Now, doctors have a confidence. Kuldeep, every time you go to the doctor, they charge 1500 rupees. That's what the daily rate is. I don't know. Even if 500, इतनी बार पूछने जाओगे डॉक्टर ही भगा देगा. Unless they are your family friend or your a sibling is a doctor. But the point here is brand identity functions as an entry barrier. Now that P-Lab 40 brand will have to spend a lot of money, a lot of awareness, a lot of marketing within the doctors to make them familiar of their brand so that they prescribe that brand. Because X norm 34 का वो basically doctor trusts that brand. The patients are feeling good with that medicine, so they'll always write X norm 34. अब P lab 40 को उतना ही मेहनत करना पड़ेगा. It's a new brand getting into an existing industry. It becomes like a barrier if the existing have a very big brand image, right? If they have a brand identity which is huge, it becomes a problem for new people to get into the industry. Okay. Bargaining buyer, a part of the buyer, if they have more knowledge, if they're spending power, so bargaining power of the buyer है. Okay. Now, bargaining of the power of the buyer, मैं आपको बताता हूँ क्या है. You have a budget of 15 lakhs. You have a budget of 15 lakhs. Do you think the Hyundai car salesman, the Maruti car salesman, the Kia salesperson, right? Man doesn't mean just man. Let's be gender neutral. The salesperson of Hyundai, Kia, Maruti, Honda, Toyota, all of them will want to get you, yes or a no? All of them would want to get your money, would want to sell their product to you, yes or a no? You have a budget of 15 lakhs. The answer is yes, my friend. Each of these people will rush to get you to buy their product. The bargaining power exists with the buyer here, right? Why? Why? Because you have options. You have options. One, you have money, right? And each of them has to convince you. So you as a buyer have a bargaining power कि नहीं, मारुति वाला तो मुझे पावर विंडोज भी दे रहा है. They are giving me leather seats. Hyundai says, I'll also give it to you. Don't worry, I'll give you. You go to Kia says, I'll give you sunroof as well. What are they talking about leather seats and I'll give you sunroof as well. You go to Toyota, they say, I'll give you 15 years of service free. Or bolo. Now the bargaining power sits with the buyer because they are options. But if you go to an industry, the bargaining power of the supplier, you go to the hospital, God forbid. But if you go to the hospital, you should see how helpless you are. You are the one paying money. You are the one spending money. The biggest helplessness you will see yourself when you go to a hospital. You might be the most educated person. You might be the richest person. You might have crores of rupees. You go to the hospital, you're helpless. They can charge you anything. They can tell you anything about what they're doing, and you will have to say, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay, sir. Please do it. Yes, I don't know. जो भी आपको ठीक लगता है करिए. Helpless हो. The bargaining power of the supplier. That is where money is made. Bargaining power of the buyer वाली market में पैसा नहीं बनता. If you are in a business where the buyer is dominant, I am begging the buyer, मेरी गाड़ी ले लो. Toyota कह रहे हैं मेरी गाड़ी ले लो. Honda is saying, please मेरी गाड़ी खरीद लो. You go to hospital, doctors and hospital is like, please come. We have a lot of heat. Please come after 2 hours. Please stand in line. It's like I want to spend 50 lakhs on the treatment. I have money. We have many people. Please stand in line. The bargaining power of the supply. That is where money is made. That's what external environment analysis, Michael Porter's 5 forces of competition tells you that, hey, if you are in a business where the supply, where you have the power, that's where money is made, my friend. Are we clear on this? Are we clear? I know I'm giving you a bit dark examples, but this is reality, my friend, of the business. Yes or a no? I see the chat is almost gone. Where? Guys are sad about the examples. Are we clear, my friends? Are we clear? Yes, no, कुछ तो बता दो. Yes, thank you. Very nice. Are we clear on this topic? Attractiveness of the industry. What makes an industry attractive? What makes an industry attractive? Are we clear on this topic? Any questions, any doubts we have faced? Clear. Awesome. Very nice. Fourth, Konsa, Nagaraj, which is the fourth. This are current competitive conditions favorable for this stronger or weaker? Is this one the fourth one you're talking about? Uh, this risk and uncertainty, which one? Which is the fourth? Actually, graphic भी ऐसे, how do I know which fourth? 1, 2, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 3, 4? अच्छा, Porter's fourth. Oh, okay. Rivalry amongst existing competitors. Okay, very nice. Now it's a simple question आपसे पूछता हूँ. Is it easy today for any new telecom company to enter an Indian market? आपको टेलीकॉम कंपनी खोलनी है इंडिया में. Is it easy to get into telecom industry? Is it easy? No. Why? क्यों भाई? चलो, regulation is one thing, Kuldeep. I have ample money. I have 5,000 crores. I have a great bunch of legal team. अब बताओ, is it easy to get into telecom industry? Again, Kuldeep, overthinking. टॉपिक कौन सी की बात हो रही है मुझे बताओ. स्क्रीन पे कौन सा टॉपिक है? Which topic is Nagaraj asking? Absolutely, Asta. Already Jio and Airtel are ruling the market. The rivalry amongst the existing competitor is so high. If you enter, you'll be killed by them instantly. Instant. You pick up a Geo pack. You pick up a list of all the packs you have available for Airtel and Jio. Same price. Copy paste है इस time. Difference ही नहीं है. Copy paste. You buy a Jio annual pack 3300. Airtel annual pack 3300. You buy a Jio a 50 GB pack 150 rupees. You buy an Airtel one 150 rupees. Copy paste चल रहा है. And they're so competitive because either I'll go to Jio or Airtel. But the magic is every phone is a dual SIM. Everybody has one Airtel, one Jio. दोनों पैसा कमा रहे हैं. तीसरा सिम किधर से लाएगा दोस्त फोन में? First you have to break these two. Then you have to enter. Then you have to meet their pricing. Then you have to make customer buy a third number for which they have to buy another phone. By the rivalry amongst the competitors, they're not letting anybody get into your business. That's Michael Porter's force number 4, Nagaraj. If the rivalry amongst existing competitors is fierce, it is very difficult to get into that industry. It is not very attractive as an industry. वहाँ पैसा खर्च होगा. Okay? वैल्यू चेन एनालिसिस वगैरह तो हमने बहुत ही अच्छे से पढ़ लिया. कंपेटिटिव स्ट्रेटजी, कोर कॉम्पिटेंसी, ओहो, you guys are big time experts in this. But KSF, 3 question, भैया ये question, oh. I have seen so many people losing good 5 marks here. Have you guys read this in your revision? Straight forward question, एग्जाम में कम से कम 3 बार आ चुका है पिछले 5-6 attempts में. I've seen the answer to what are the 3 questions which will help identify the key success factors. Straightforward question आता है, question number 7 or an 8 comes in the descriptive question straightforward, which says, hey, what are the 3 questions that help identify a key success factor? Question 1, question 2, question number 3. ये 3 आप questions लिख के आएंगे एग्जाम में, you get 5 on a 5. You get a 5 on a 5. So most of the people are missing this concept, thinking ये क्या है, इसको क्या पढ़ना. भाई ये इतना ज्यादा आ रहा है ना, I can tell you. अब आएगा या नहीं, I don't know. I'm not the exam student. I'm just giving you past trend that this question is being asked. What resources and competitive capabilities does a seller need to have to beat competition? On what basis do customers choose between their competitor and them? What does it take for the seller to achieve a sustainable competitive advantage, a long-term view to things? Sustainable होना चाहिए, ये नहीं सिर्फ एक बार बेचा हो गया. How do I make people buy every time? 3 questions. And that will define your key success factor in the industry. So read this. When you revise again, my friend, yourself, when you do the self-revision again, remember this is being asked. Okay, great. Now, before I get into chapter 3, I want to take a quick 10 minutes break. I know it's going to be loaded. We come back after break. We start with chapter number 3. Okay, we start with chapter number 3, and then we also practice some more questions, my friend. Okay, let's take a quick 10 minutes break. I know you guys are getting sleepy as well. Go wash your face, get something to drink, and let's be back 8:40, 8:29 in my clock. 8:40, let's get back, start with chapter 3, and then we practice more questions. Okay, I'll see you in 10 minutes, my dear friends. Freshen up, come back with fresh energy. Okay, see you in 10 minutes. Thank you. Thank you. If you can hear me, request you to join back as well. So that we start with our chapter 3 quickly. Once you're back, give me a yes back in the chat so that I know that you're here. Awesome, Kuldeep, thank you so much. Have you guys got much needed 10 minutes break to freshen up, get something to drink, wash your face, right? The sun must be properly out now. For those who have sunrise, we have a gloomy day, but that's okay. Very chilled, very chill winds for us, which is strange but nice. Awesome. Gopika Shri is here, back. Thank you. Asta is back. Welcome back. I'll just wait for another 10-15 seconds for our other friends to join in. And then we get going with chapter 3 very quickly, whatever we have in the chapter. Then we get to our questions as well. Okay, so chapter 3, internal. We did external analysis, chapter 2. Chapter 3 is all about internal analysis, getting to know yourself, your business. Okay, now the first big topic that comes into this chapter is Mendelow's matrix, which is all about stakeholder management, identifying the set of stakeholders which are very important for us, which are not so important for us, which are extremely important for us, stakeholders which are okay, can be managed, right? So finding those stakeholders through an analysis, through a tool called Mendelow's matrix, which says, hey, you can define your stakeholders. First of all, who are stakeholders? Stakeholders are people who are either interested in your business or have a say in your business. Okay. Now, those are your stakeholders, your suppliers, your customers, your competitors, the government, the authorities, your investors, your friends, whoever it is. Okay. Banks, जिससे आपने लोन लिया है, they are your stakeholders. Now, these stakeholders can be defined on two parameters. One is the power and the influence they have on taking decisions for your business. And number two is interest in your business. Are they interested in your business? And if they have a lot of power or decision making, then you probably have to identify that, hey, are these the key players I have to take care of and manage closely? Are these like keep satisfy people because they're powerful people, so I have to keep them satisfied? Or they are interested people, but they don't have so much power, so let me just keep them informed, gather their thoughts because they are interested in my business, so they will share good thoughts with me. Some people who are just there to neither influence, neither interest, just monitor them, don't engage with them, right? So that's how you divide people in the four boxes in your life as well. People who are interested in your life, people who have power or influence in your life, define that, put them in boxes, and your life becomes easier as to what should I manage more, right? एक बार क्वेश्चन आता कि यार मूवी देखने इनके साथ जाऊं या फिर मैं यहाँ जाऊं. Make this box helps you. Okay. Mendelow's matrix. Any questions on Mendelow's matrix, my friend? Anything that you feel you're confident about Mendelow's matrix? Great. If not, tell me. Investors, customers, lenders under you keep satisfied. Yeah, absolutely. That's right, Asta. You keep them satisfied. You don't want to keep them away from information. You don't want to play them, fake with them the information. So just keep them satisfied. Okay. Number two, strategic drivers. The four drivers this chapter talks about are industry markets, the customers, the product services, and finally the channels, right? So industry and market. Now, Is the market same for all businesses? Maybe yes, maybe no. Now, for example, okay. Now, first you need to identify or differentiate between industry and market. Industry can be apparel industry. The market can is the set of people who will actually buy your product. Okay. Now, have you heard about the brand Zara? Zara का नाम सुना है? ZARA. How many of you have heard the brand name Zara? No, Nagraj, no. Okay. Kuldeep says SK's venture. Who is SK? SRK, no. Zara is not SRK's venture. Most of the girls have heard. You should, boys, you should also know these brands, man. This is not Shah Rukh Khan's brand, sir. This is not, Zara is not Shah Rukh Khan's brand. It's a very big global brand, okay? Now, let me take an easier example then. If you guys don't know the brand, it is not even Chinese, my friend. It is not even Chinese. It's a European brand. Now, let me take an easier example. Okay, my bad. Have you heard about Adidas? Adidas का नाम सुना है? Adidas सुना है? Yeah, अभी सुना है. चलो ठीक है. I should give you more inclusive examples. Now, Adidas is in which industry? Adidas is in which industry? Sports industry. Very nice. Adidas is in sports industry. Fantastic. Who is the market of Adidas? Who is the market of Adidas? Sportsmen, sports people, right? People who play sports, who are fit into fitness, they buy Adidas products. Young people generally buy. People are generally not even young, but people who are more athletic buy their products. तो इंडस्ट्री तो स्पोर्ट्स है बट द मार्केट विद इन स्पोर्ट्स नॉट एवरी ऐसा 140 crore इंडियंस एवरीबडी वॉचेस क्रिकेट क्रिकेट तो सब देखते हैं तो स्पोर्ट्स इंडस्ट्री तो है बट आर is everybody who's watching cricket also buying an Adidas product? No. So industry can be sports, but the market can be very small within that industry for you. Market is somebody or the group of people who are actually going to buy a product is market. So you need to first identify who is your market. एक और एग्जांपल लेता हूँ बहुत ही सिंपल सिंपल एग्जांपल लेते हैं ये थोड़ा ब्रॉड एग्जांपल ले लिया मैंने आपसे ठीक है जी ओके who who will generally buy a 5 lakh rupee gold necklace who is the market for 5 lakh rupee gold necklace कौन लोग खरीदेंगे 5 lakh rupee gold necklace who will buy who will buy a 5 lakh rupee gold necklace my friend upper middle class people or rich people no I don't think so even middle class people will buy when they are getting married no the market for them is people getting married marriage wedding is their market people who are getting wed is the market you might not be rich you might not be affluent but you would still have saved money to buy some gold during your marriage. That's market. I can give you hundreds of examples of people I know. They're not very affluent, they're not very rich, they're not even middle class, but they still bought jewelry like crazy jewelry during their weddings. That's market, my friend. That's market. So market could define when you're making a product, when you're making a service, you have to understand who is my market. खरीदेगा कौन? That is what is important for you to understand about your business. And that is number one, industry and market. First, you remember chapter 2, maybe we were talking about attractiveness of industry. Is jewelry industry attractive? Yes. But within jewelry industry also there are markets. There will be certain individuals who want to buy 10, 15,000 rupee rings and earrings and nose pins and blah, 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 blah. There'll be people who will buy jewelry 10, 15,000 product. There will be people, there will be a market within this industry which will come seasonal. So in the months of October, November, in the months of March, in the months somewhere, depends on the region, depends on which part of the country you are. Now, people will come and buy jewelry in big amounts as well. That's a different market. Some people will just buy small rings, earrings, nose pins, small chains, and necklaces. That's also a market. Now, within the industry, you have different markets. You have to cater to each of the market. You have to identify which market do I want to play in. Now, brands like a Joy Lucas, a brand like a Kalyan Jeweler, they're focused on big, heavy jewelry. New age brands like a Carrot Lane or like a Blue Stone, they're using the working class jewelry, like a 15, 16,000 rupee pendant, of 25,000 rupee ring, a 30,000 rupee earring, which looks glossy. They're playing in a different market in the same industry. A brand like a Joy Lucas or Tribhuvan Das Bhimji Zaveri or big, big brands, right? They're playing in the big segment, like, hey, शादी आएगी लोग 10-15 लाख का सोना खरीदेंगे. We have bangles and big bangles and kadas and chains and all of that. That's a different market within the same industry. So identify your market. Who is going to buy your product? Am I clear here, dear friends? Is this thing clear? The difference between an industry and a market? Yes or a no? Yes, it is. Very nice, Kuldeep. Enjoy area. People buy some gold every year for the child from their birth till age of 20 years of marriage. See, parents are doing everything for the kids. They won't buy anything for themselves. Why? Which is sad. But okay. Okay. That gives them happiness. Whatever gives you happiness. Adidas can be differentiation. Yes, it can be. Absolutely. Not really focused because they still have a range. अब बच्चों का भी बनाते हैं, बड़ों का भी बनाते हैं, female भी है, male भी है. It's not a focus differentiation. If they would have said we only make sportswear for football, that's a focus differentiation, Asta. If they say, hey, we only make sportswear for running, then that's the focus differentiation. अभी तो ये this is every sport, every gender, जो खरीदे जूता, कपड़ा, bag, a jacket, सब कुछ बनाते हैं हम. That's not focused differentiation that Adidas is doing. Okay. Okay. Next important topic. I shouldn't say important. Every topic is important. That's why I keep saying important. Important. Like सब कुछ ही important है. हाँ हाँ हाँ. Everything is important. छोटा सा तो syllabus है. 5 chapters. What, like 200 pages, of which 50 pages are images only. It's a छोटा सा subject, right? 6B. So small. And so much more scoring. I can tell you, recently the result was out, and I got almost like what 20 messages of people clearing their examinations, and they got really good marks in paper 6. though combined, but strategic they messaged me personally, they messaged me over different, uh, mostly LinkedIn. They reached out to me. People are scoring great marks in SM, and I think that's what excites me. That's what I would like to share as well. If you are in that mode that, hey, is that really a scoring subject? Yes. Oh, SM is a cash cow for sure. 100%, without doubt, it's a cash cow. It's a cash cow in your syllabus. You can just rest assured you'll score more if you stop overthinking. आपको पता है, my analysis of the last 5 years is that we are losing marks because we are overthinking. We are losing marks because, which is good, in real life it is important to have multiple things check. ये differentiation भी हो सकता है, focus भी हो सकता है, ये strategic mapping, ये entrant, new entrant है या substitute है. It's good to think. It's good that you think, but exam has to be specific and exam questions are specific. So your thought should stop the moment you read the last line of the question कि भाई पूछ क्या रहे हो. अच्छी बात है सोचना, but question is asking something. I can ask you to how much is 2 plus 2? You can say, oh, it is 2 plus 2 is 4. Good. Or you can say, oh, 2 plus 2 means 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, and that means 4. Overthink भी कर सकते हो. But 2 plus 2 4 बोलोगे तो भी चलेगा मेरे दोस्त. You don't have to do 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. You get what I'm saying? Yes, you do. I know. And that's why we have been practicing so many questions and concepts, right? Customers. The difference between a customer and a consumer, so simple. है ना? याद है? Remember, we talked about this in the LVCs also. Somebody who buys is a customer. The person who actually uses the product or the service is a consumer. So customer may not be a consumer. The consumer may not be a customer. But why? But why do you have to define these two? Let me tell you why. When setting the price of your product, think about this. Yes, thanks, Kuldeep. You remember the example we had in LVC. When you are setting the price of a product, would you take care of the consumer or the customer? I want everybody to be active in the chat. This is a revision class for you. Guys, I've cleared my examinations. It's been almost what? Wow, I did not even realize it's almost been what, 9 years, 10 years now. I've cleared my examinations. It's your revision class. The more active you are, the better for you. I am here since morning on a Sunday. I like this. You should also probably, even if you don't like it, please like it till you become a CA. Then you can sleep every Sunday. Nobody's going to question. Wow. You want to set the price. You will think about customer, not the consumer. Think about the customer, the person who is going to buy. They will care about the price. But if you want to attract the consumer, you have to work on the features of the product, the usability of the product. You have to take care of the usability of the product, right? That is where the magic will lie. मैं आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछता हूँ. Who is more important, customer or a consumer? Simple question है. Who is more important, consumer or the customer? Wrong. People who are saying both, you are wrong. अब बताओ चलो. People who are saying both are wrong. The key to your success, the key to the success of your product or service, my friend, lies with the consumer. Customer एक बात खरीदेगा. But if the consumer does not like your product, the customer will never buy it again. You make fantastic notebooks, my friend. बहुत अच्छी notebook बनाते हो. A father came to the stationery shop. He said, "Give me the best notebook you have." Your brand came up. The shop guy gave your company's register to that father. He went back home to his daughter. His daughter looked at the register and said, "Wow, what smooth pages." But the lines are too big. I wanted smaller lines. Bye bye product. Bye bye customer. He's not going to buy your register again. The consumer is the one who will decide whether this product is going to be bought again or not. एक टाइम की सेल के लिए तो कस्टमर ठीक है. But if you want recurring sales, you want recurring customer, the consumer has to be the key to your product. iPhone खरीद रहे हैं लोग. The customer is a parent. For all the school going kids or college going kids, essentially most of the cases, some kids are making their own money. Fantastic. Most of them are not. But because the consumer likes it, तो वो earbuds भी खरीद रहा है, तो वो एयर टैग भी खरीद रहा है, वो 600-700 रुपीज का फोन का केस भी खरीद रहा है, वो स्टोरेज भी खरीद रहा है. So if the consumer likes it, the customer is forced to buy if the consumer is loving your product. So let me ask again. The question in the exam is, which of the two is more important for the success of the business, a consumer or a customer? What is the Janta going to write in the exam now? Are you going to write both or are you going to write consumer? Wonderful. You're going to write consumer and you just got 5 more marks for your examination. Glad you joined a revision class. If the consumer aren't satisfied, it is difficult to sell a product to a customer. As simple as that, my friend. Right? Okay. Product and service driver. The types of marketing. Absolutely. Even a child forced parents to go for a specific. Everybody is buying a high Toyota Hyryder. We should also buy a Toyota Hyryder. I'm just giving a name, right? Everybody is buying a Fortuner. So all these people who are selling their lands, getting money, huge money. Yeah, let's go and buy a Fortuner. Bhai, kyun? It might not be a great car, just because people are buying, the consumer wants it, you got to buy it, right? I don't know. Maybe my poverty is saying it's a great car. I've never used it, I've never driven it, so maybe my poverty is telling it's not a good car. I don't know. Just an example. Okay, again, types of marketing within product and services. Pretty straightforward, right? Any doubts in any of these types of marketing you guys have felt? Enlightened marketing, फैंटास्टिक. अच्छा जी, वेरी नाइस. आस्था, आपको एनलाइटेंड मार्केटिंग के बारे में बताता हूँ. ठीक है जी. Here we go. Okay. Now, innovative marketing, sense of mission marketing, societal marketing, all these come under enlightened. For example, मैं आपसे चलो ठीक है. सेंसोडाइन की एड देखिए. हैव यू सीन सेंसोडाइन की एड टीवी पे? भाई इतनी एड है सेंसोडाइन की. हैव यू सीन सेंसोडाइन टूथपेस्ट एड? वेरी नाइस. क्या बताते हैं उस एड में? what is the ad telling you? Everybody can answer, though Asta has asked the question. Asta, you should also answer. Everybody should answer. What do you see in Sensodyne's ad? What are they trying to tell you? What is Sensodyne trying to tell you? It's recommended by dentists for what? It is recommended by dentists for what? Every toothpaste is recommended by dentist, and that dentist is a TV actor. But again, sensitivity, right? Tooth sensitivity, jhanjhanahat, that's what they say, right? If when you eat an ice cream, there is sensitivity. If you eat something spicy, there is sensitivity, and that is a cause of a lot of pain for you. Use Sensodyne. It will solve your problems. Enlightened marketing, my friend. What it's doing with your mindset is it's saying that, hey, it's a medical problem. It's a medical issue if you're feeling it. And if that's the case, buy our product. It's enlightening you with a new information. It's enlightening you. Most you would see a new Oral B electric toothbrush ad. The old brushes do not clean the teeth in the corners of the teeth, in the lines of your teeth. Buy an electric enlightened. They're teaching you. They're trying to make you learn new things. They're enlightening you. Good or bad, true or false is a separate question, but the idea is, come, let me teach you something. That's what the ad is saying. Hey, let me teach you something. That is enlightened marketing. I'll give you another example. How many of you are on Instagram? Yes, no. How many of you are on Instagram? Yes, yes, very nice. Pooja is not on Instagram. Pooja, we need to do your puja in this time. You are not on Instagram. Fantastic. Yeah, what a self-control. Love it. Govika Shri, you're like us, addicted to Instagram. Nagaraj, addicted to Instagram. All of us are so addicted. I'm so addicted to Instagram. Now, people who are on Instagram, Pooja, not you. You are a good person. You're a nice person, right? People who are on Instagram, have you seen this new animation thing going on Instagram, which is teaching you things like why you should not cut an onion in this way, or what is a coffee, that why is a chole and bhature not good combination, why a diet coke is not a good combination with dahi bhalla. All of this animation, very aggressive animation, you've seen all these animations happening. Now, that is enlightened marketing, my friend. They're teaching you something. Now उसमें एक brand आप place कर दो तो a marketing, they can make millions in that marketing. That is enlightened marketing. Nagaraj is addicted to Chat GPT. Fantastic, Nagaraj. I just hope Chat GPT is giving you right answers, because most of the times it's not giving right answers. I can tell you. I have used it enough. Sometimes it just takes you on a trip. But anyway, the person who asked the question is Gayab. Are you clear with enlightened marketing, Asta? It supports best long-term performance. Actually, yes, because it builds trust with the consumer, where consumer feels, hey, this brand is trying to teach something good to me, must be a good brand. अभी good है कि नहीं हमको नहीं मालूम, but marketing helps you. Their enlightened marketing helps you build an image that, hey, this brand wants good of me, so let me trust this brand. Enlightened marketing. Okay, very nice. Channels. Fantastic. Channels. चैनल्स का एक एग्जांपल लेते हैं, बहुत ही सिंपल लेते हैं, आपको जिंदगी भर याद रहेगा चैनल्स क्या होता है. इफ यू वांट टू बाय, think about this, my friend. If you want to buy a packet, if you want to buy Maggie, if you want to buy Maggie, how do you buy? Where do you buy Maggie from? Well, let me ask you, where do you buy Maggie from? मैगी कहाँ से खरीदते हो? लोकल शॉप से. नागराज गोज टू द नो लोकल शॉप. He's a man of culture. Nagaraj is a man of culture. He goes to the local shop. Kuldeep is a man of culture, goes to Kirana shop. Gobika Shri is also a woman of culture. She goes to the nearby stores. Online कोई नहीं खरीद रहे. Am I the laziest one? I am buying Maggie online. I to do Zepto, Blinkit, and Maggie comes. 7 minutes, 10 minutes online. Asta is like me. She is lazy again. Thank you, Asta, for not making me feel alone. You're lazy too. I'm lazy too. Sid goes to DMart, sir. The most uh, I would say energetic person going to the other side of the city to a DMart, spending 2 hours in those long queues for a Maggie. ठीक है. You stock Maggie. Now I know. You stock Maggie, Sid. You're a Maggie stockist. Okay. But the point here, my friend, is oh, Sid, it's near. Fantastic. You're lucky enough to have a DMart near your house. Now, we are buying it online. We are buying it from the Kirana store. We are buying it from the DMart. All of you people live in different places across India, very different from each other, thousands of kilometers away, maybe, but all of you get Maggie in your Kirana store. Asta lives in Ludhiana. I live in Delhi, almost like 700, 800 kilometers away. Both of us are getting Maggie online. Sid is going to the DMart. Sid, I don't know which city you're from. Maybe if you want to share. Sid is going to DMart. Bangalore, see? Bangalore. I remember Electronic City DMart when I was in Bangalore. It used to take me 2 hours just to get my stuff built. So I don't like DMarts from that memory, but I know they are great. Price-wise, they are great, but it's a full day exercise to go to DMart. Anyway, you this is channels, my friend. A simple product like Maggie is available everywhere. आपको मैगी खरीदनी हर जगह मिलेगी. That is channels. They're available online. They're available in a DMart. They're available in a Kirana store. They're available in every part of the country. Through channels. Through channels. A business has to first identify where do we want to be present. ठीक है जी? Then they have to identify what is my costing. Does it even make sense to be available everywhere cost wise? Yes. Will the pricing be same in all the channels? Who is the market? Which channel has to grow more? कौन से channel में ज़्यादा marketing spend करूं? All of these are great questions to ask, which are actually a 2-year MBA program, my friend. The question today brands have is, should you spend more marketing dollars on an online channel or an offline Kirana store channel? Kirana store channel is giving more margin to the retailers and wholesalers so that they keep your stuff and they push your stuff. Online is marketing more, popping up in your so Nestle, which owns Maggie, is giving money to a Blinkit or a Zepto that every time somebody searches for a snack, whatever snack, namkeen, Pepsi, कुछ भी, एक ना promotion देना, do you also want to buy Maggie? ऊपर आएगा Maggie. पैसे खर्च कर रहे हैं. They're spending money to be there on the top on your screen. Your phone screen is the new marketing place. This is your new marketing place. इतनी छोटी सी screen में सारी ads आएंगी. That is channels. Identifying where you want to be, how much, and how much growth do you want from each of the channels. Okay. Core competency, something you're absolutely great at, right? That is your core competency. It should be valued by the customer. It should have an application to other markets, and the competitor differentiation is important. Now, core competency leads to, you know this, WRIO, which is VRIO, which is valuable, rare, immutable. I know you guys know this. Okay, so I'll not repeat it. But core competency leads to what is my question. आपकी revisionary class है, test लेना है मुझे. Core competency leads to what? I need single word answer. Like there are two words. Two words. Yeah, here we go. Asta is given the right answer. I want others to answer as well. Core competency leads to what? Core competency. Fantastic, Kuldeep. Absolutely wrong answer. कोई बात नहीं. It's revision class. The more you give wrong answers, the better it is. Because exam में गलत नहीं होना चाहिए. Govika Shri, correct answer. Kuldeep, you want to think more? Pooja, fantastic wrong answer. Core competency leads to competitive advantage. Core competency leads to competitive advantage. As simple as that. Remember that for your examination. The end result or the goal of having a core competency is to have a competitive advantage. SWOT analysis, super simple. Strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. बचपन से पढ़ते आ रहे हैं. I will not repeat this. Competitive advantage. ठीक है जी. Now, the key characteristics of competitive advantage: transferability should be tough, durability should be long, appropriability should have good return on investment, imitability should be nearly impossible. The four characteristics of competitive advantage. And finally, अच्छा एक चीज, the Michael Porter's generic strategy, Kuldeep, you remember we were talking about the second topic, Michael Porter's generic cost leadership, where you have the least cost and you pass on that benefit to the consumers and they get stuff at the least price. Differentiation, where your products are very different from the market and you charge a premium, the question we saw today. And the focused example we have already taken in the previous, like a robotic automatic like auto-driven wheelchair versus an auto-driven car. The focused market. Now, within focus, you can either be a cost leader or you can be a focused differentiation. Acha ji. The biggest thing I want you to remember is, my friend, एक strategy आती है जिसको हम बोलते हैं best cost provider strategy. Best cost provider strategy is not a Michael Porter strategy. If the question asks you, which of the following Michael Porter strategy is being, generic strategy is being best cost provider, तो लिखना मत. Because best cost provider is not given by Michael Porter, सबसे पहले. तो ये तो आपको आसान हो जाएगा. If the question is asking a Michael Porter generic strategy, it will either be cost leadership, differentiation or focus strategy. Best cost provider तो नहीं होगा answer. Remember this, that best cost provider strategy is not given by Michael Porter. It is not part of the Michael Porter generic strategy. Okay? Are we clear? Remember this for your exams. It's a generic strategy. I don't know who propounded, who gave it, who made it, but it's not by Michael Porter. Okay? Appropriability asta is पैसे कमा के देने चाहिए. Competitive advantage should lead to making money or profits. It should have some value for the organization. It should not be a charity. Your competitive advantage should help you increase your profits. That is appropriability. Okay, great. So chapter 3 ends with best cost provider strategy. Now for the next 10 minutes, I want you to take back to the questions. Okay, now, my friends, question number 11 on your screen. Synchro versus demarketing. Fantastic. Synchro, seasonal, demarketing, pushing you out. Okay, Asta, fantastic. Synchro marketing is, AC is a synchro marketing. If you go and buy an air conditioner in December, it'll be cheaper. If you go and buy an air conditioner in the month of May, it will be costlier than the December price. That is synchro marketing. Demarketing, on the same on the same way is I'll give you the same example में, ठीक है, आपको और अच्छा समझ आएगा. Air conditioner in December is, let's say, for 20,000 rupees. The same air conditioner in May is for 30,000 rupees. That is synchro marketing. Season के हिसाब से pricing होगी. Demarketing is because in the month of May there is huge demand. Because in the month of May there is huge demand, and most of the people come shopping during Sundays. Most of the people come for shopping during Sundays क्योंकि Sunday भाई सबकी छुट्टी होती है, सब आते हैं खरीदने. So the shop says, the shop जहाँ पे AC बिक रहा है, says Sunday को the price is 32,000. But if you come on a Friday, the price is 29,000. That is demarketing. क्या कर रहे हैं? They're pushing people from a Sunday to come to a Friday. They are demarketing because Sunday को demarket कर रहे हैं ना. They're demarketing a Sunday. Why? Because they want to manage the crowd. That is how demarketing works. But it's still a synchro because seasonal है. But for a day particularly, they're like, yeah, Sunday को 32,000 होता है, Friday offer. They don't say Sunday 32,000, but eventually they say Friday offer. Only on Fridays. You come to Friday, you get 3,000 rupees discount. Demarketing a Sunday, bro. Correct? That's what they're doing. Exactly. You know, most of the in North India, you would have seen most of the people don't eat non-veg on a Tuesday or a Thursday. I know restaurants in my area, what they say butter chicken on a Tuesday is 20% discounted. क्योंकि उस दिन सेल ही नहीं हो रही है, लोग खाते ही नहीं है नॉनवेज ऑन अ ट्यूसडे एंड अ थर्सडे. सो दैट इज डीमार्केटिंग. अब क्या कर रहे हैं? इट्स अ रिवर्स डीमार्केटिंग, जैसे कि यार ट्यूसडे खा लो, हमारा तो सेल हो जाएगी, राइट? This is the difference. Synchro is a seasonal thing. Demarketing is to push out sales, to reduce the sales on a particular day, on a particular product. Now, demarketing is also on products. मैं आपको एक और example देता हूँ. Day is very basic. Day is a very basic thing. Now, let's say, I'm giving you another example. I have two products. Let's say I'm Samsung TV. मैं Samsung का TV हूँ. I'm Samsung and I make TVs. My one TV, which is an OLED TV for 80,000 rupees, my profit margin is 50%. Okay. Everybody carefully, Asta, carefully. Listen to this. 80,000 rupee television, I make 50% profit margin on it. And there is a TV which I sell for 60,000 rupees. I sell for 60,000 rupees and I make 10,000 rupee profit. कस्टमर आके 60,000 वाला खरीदे जा रहे हैं, फिर 80,000 बहुत महंगा है, हम 60,000 का ले लेंगे. ऑलमोस्ट सेम सैमसंग ही तो है. बट वहां पे मैं सिर्फ 10,000 रुपीज कमा रहा हूँ और 80,000 रुपी टीवी आई मेकिंग 40,000 रुपीज. आई विल डी मार्केट अ 60,000 rupee product. How will I demarket? Think about it. I don't want to sell this 60,000 rupees. I still want it to be in my portfolio. भाई portfolio में तो product होना चाहिए, but मेरे I don't want to focus on this product. I want customer to focus on my 80,000 rupee product. How do you demarket? How would you demarket? बताओ. Think about this. मैं आपको एक example देता हूँ. The shop or the Samsung will tell every of their dealer कि भाई ये 60,000 वाले टीवी में we will stop giving updates in the next 6 months. This smart TV will have no update, no software update after 6 months. The 80,000 TV will have software updates for the next 5 years. हो गया काम? हो गया काम? You're demarketing a 60,000 rupee product. That is also demarketing. You don't want to sell it. You want to stop because you don't make money on it. But you don't also want to exit that product because portfolio में होना तो चाहिए product. Portfolio जितना बड़ा होगा उतना अच्छा है brand के लिए, उतनी visibility है. But you want to demarket. You say इसका update ही नहीं आता है. हो गया demarket अपने आप. Everybody will eventually push to a 80,000 product, saying कि यार चलो ठीक है उसमें update तो आ रहा है. 20,000 rupees next 5 years I will get all updates. Okay, let's buy 80,000. You're already making 40,000 rupees on that TV now. So you already demarketed a 60,000 rupee product. Clear? Yes, no, yeah, yes. Good. Question number 11 on your screen, my friend. Question number 11 on your screen. Which stage in PLC are we talking about? Gobika Shri says maturity. Nagaraj says maturity. What about others? What about my other friends? Maturity. Pooja says maturity. Very nice. Most of you are absolutely right. Sales have plateaued, where its rivals only compete on pricing. It's maturity. Awesome. Question 12, my friend. Let's solve. Question 12. Solve. SBU. Kuldeep says SBU. Nagraj says SBU. Pooja says SBU. What about others? Fantastic, my friend. It is SBU. Awesome. You guys are getting great at this, huh? Question 13 on your screen. Very quickly, time bound. Question 13, let's solve. SBU तो हो गया 12. What is 13th? Very nice. Dual reporting. Keyword पकड़ लिया सबने. Fantastic. Asta says matrix. Kuldeep says matrix. Gobika Shri says matrix. The correct answer is matrix. Nagaraj says matrix. Awesome. 14th question on your screen. Question number 14 on your screen, my friend. Fourteen should be super easy, straightforward. What is question number 14? Divestment or retrenchment? Which one? The correct answer is retrenchment. तो हमें ही पता है दोस्त, इसमें divestment है आंसर. Retrenchment तो we already know. The correct answer is divestment. Last question for today. Question number 15, my friend. What is the right answer? For question number 15, the last question for today. No, this is out of syllabus question. Let's see your general knowledge. Nagaraj has given the right answer though, but still, it's not part of the syllabus, my friend. I'm just checking some general knowledge as well. थोड़ी तो होनी चाहिए general knowledge. Management के student हो. Anyway, you don't have to worry about this. Is not going to come in examination. This is general knowledge beyond exams. It's balanced scorecard, but you don't need to worry about it. Something more to learn, something more to read, right? But don't worry, this is not for examination, so don't worry. Okay, great. My dear friends, I'll just spend last 1 minute. I'll stop sharing here and spend last 1 minute on how's the revision going. You guys feel much more confident with solving so many questions. I hope we're able to give you ample number of questions to solve any doubts, any topics you feel worried about. Share those. We are left with 2 more sessions. 2 sessions are done. Next Sunday and next to next Sunday, we'll have 2 more sessions. Kuldeep, great question. I want to take that in the last session. My last session is all about how do you attempt an examination. My last session would be all about the next one is going to be we'll complete chapter 4 and 5. And the last session is all about how do I even solve an examination? How do I stop losing marks? That's going to be the last session. It's all exam oriented. So we'll talk about that as well. But so far, you feel confident, you feel good about the revisionary classes. Anything you feel we should do more, anything you feel we must do more, please do write that, share that, right? It helps make these classes more meaningful to you, right? Anything that you feel we should do more, do not hesitate to share that, okay? Need wafer line difference between rate and NPM immutability in CC and core competency, rare and immutability. Okay, now rare is nobody else has it. Immutability is, non-immutability is nobody can copy it, okay? Rare means as of today, nobody has it. So it has to be rare. It has to be rare. Non-immutable is nobody can even copy it, right? So if you have something which is rare, Kuldeep, plus people will see that, hey, this guy has something very rare, but can we copy it? They cannot. So that's the difference. That I know we have something very rare, but I can't copy it because of cost, because of R&D, because of patents, whatever it is. So you have to create something rare. When people see that something rare, they think about copying it. They can't copy it, right? Absolutely cool. Prized possession. That is your prized possession, but people can still copy it. Nagaraj, yes, 22nd and 29th, two more classes, revision classes left. Next class, we'll complete our entire syllabus. The last class will be all around examination, questions, practice, blah, blah, blah. We'll do a lot of, we have been doing so much practice already. So you will see more questions, more exam oriented. We'll solve a full question paper with you. I'll make sure we do at least 2 questions, writing answers. We'll do a lot of practice. Don't worry, the classes will help you. Okay, awesome. LVRCs are meant to give you introspection because the time is running and you're on the right track. 90% stuff is done. It's the final 10% finishing marks, right? Scrapping the edges that needs to be done and you're done. Okay. Great. With that, in the interest of time, it's your Sunday, morning 2.5 hours. You studied, go get some break, eat something good, freshen up, go play something, and keep studying. With that, I'll see you next Sunday, my dear friends. With the same energy, we continue our strategic management revision classes. And thank you so much. I'll see you next Sunday as well. Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Nagaraj. Thanks, Udit. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you next Sunday. Bye. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Good day. Thank you.